the Jets had their own quarterback situation to figure out in this offseason. It was pretty apparent very early on it was not going to be Aaron Rodgers as a part of the program. When Justin Fields comes in, and they make it's like a 1.5-year commitment, right? But it's bridge quarterback money. You're wondering about, what exactly are you getting here? Clearly, they didn't feel like we need to make this massive commitment. He's going to be the guy for years to come. But despite being, pronounced dead at the scene during practice when he stubbed his toe there a couple of weeks ago here, you watch him in that game, like that's the good Justin Fields. I know they're not scheming up in Green Bay, but when he's able to extend those plays, running for the touchdown, like that's the guy who you at least go, okay, we know how dynamic this guy can be. How do we kind of build this offense around what he does well in the passing game?
Yeah, and I think the Jets have a lot of talent, so I hate to say this, like it's this roster that's just bereft of talent because there's a lot of guys there that they hope are going to be part of, and they've started to extend them. I mean, with Garrett Wilson, deal done, Sauce Gardner, Jermaine Johnson's another guy that they really believe, Will McDonald, that they believe is going to be a big part of their future. So it's not like they don't have the makings of a roster, and they can turn this thing around relatively quickly. But in the meantime, you get yourself a quarterback, a chance to reset himself. Aaron Glenn knew how dangerous he was because he had the game plan against him when he was with the Chicago Bears. And at the very least, if things aren't fully clicking offensively, he can do stuff with his legs. He can get out there and escape, and he can get out there and create some havoc. And who knows? Ideally, if you're Aaron Glenn, it's a Jared Goff type situation where everybody goes, okay, here's your bridge quarterback. And he winds up being your guy. And then you don't have to use draft capital to go out and find another guy, and you can use that to build around him. So I think that's the pie in the sky hope here for Justin Fields. But in the meantime, it'll keep him competitive. Aaron Glenn wants to win games here. It's not like he's going in and saying, let's go 3-14 and get a high draft pick. He wants to win as many games as possible. He doesn't care. He'll figure out the rest of it later on, which I think is the right approach. When you're coming in, you want to set a culture and set an environment of winning, an environment of what you expect. So I think the Jets are going to be entertaining. I think the Jets are going to be fun. I think the Jets are going to have and the Giants too as well. I mean, I at this point every year, I like to point out to people, I don't like to point out to people, I just happen to, that there have been 2 playoff games in the history of MetLife Stadium, and only one of them has involved the teams that actually play there. The other one was the Super Bowl. So I'd like to have some playoff games here that I can drive 15 minutes to. And that's with traffic, by the way, to get to the stadium.
I thought it was interesting just in talking with Aaron Glenn, too, because there's 2 schools of thought. You could be, hey, we're not talking about the past. Every question you get, every time in the meetings. Aaron Glenn is absolutely talking about the past with the Jets. Like, he's told players, this is the recent history. This is how long the playoff drought is. This is what we have to overcome. And frankly, they did the same thing in Detroit when he was there with Dan Campbell. This Jets team is probably, to your point, more talented than that Lions team was at the same point in the process. And they got to hope that, or the Lions 5-21 or something like that out of the gate. You're hoping maybe you can ramp that up a little bit quicker.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.